Hey, Greg, you wish for a little more action?
I do wish for more action, Mike.
As you wish, Greg. Let's party! Greg, we're just getting started.
Now this is nice.
You got 2 wishes left.
Boxing King Media in association with Boxer. Delighted to have with me Baba Tunde Ajayi. Tunde, great to see you. Shadow boxing. You okay?
Trainer's got a train. Hey, Joe. Trainer's got a train, bro. How you doing, sir?
I'm very well. How are you?
Oh, man, happy to be alive and fighting a struggle like everyone.
We're here at your call.
Yes.
We should have been at the O2 Arena. You was going to be there. Anthony Yarde was going to be there. How difficult is it? I'm not sure if you've been through it with Anthony before, but when you're preparing for a fight and then on fight week, 4 days before it gets pulled, how is Dan, do you think, feeling, and Joshua BUATSI as well?
Well, I feel, these things, it's boxing. These things happen, there's always a great anticipation from the fans, from the media, from the fighters themselves. They want to see a good dust up. But I feel it for Dan because I feel it for both fighters. I feel it for JB and I feel it for Dan, especially because, the rumour mill always surfaces when things like this occur. And when you're a fighter, one as such as Dan, who has proven that he's willing to fight, suffering an injury so soon, I think it's obvious it didn't happen on the day we heard about it. He's obviously carrying it for some time, and it must have been heartbreaking for him to pull out. Also, heartbreaking for Joshua BUATSI, who's definitely prepared diligently and professionally, spent money on bringing trainers over from America. Virgil was here, everyone was here, so I think the conspiracy theory thing, you have to put that to bed because, why would you go through the trouble of having a big press conference, a face-off, a show at Arsenal, and both of them appearing at Arsenal Football Club. I just think it's one of those unfortunate situations, but hopefully we can reschedule it and get it cracking.
Anthony Yarde went on to Sky and said, look, he'll love to fight the winner. He was going to be ringside. How does this kind of affect his plans? And because this fight may take place, they might still try to do it this year, but obviously Anthony Yarde doesn't want to wait around too long either.
Yeah, well, we wasn't waiting on anyone anyway. It's just, Ant's a fighter. Ant has proven that he's ready to fight at any given moment. As long as it's all right with the team and it's a collective decision. We all wanted to, Ant is hungry. Ant wants to get straight back in there. But as a trainer, his manager as well, and someone who has a team around him, we have to be strategic. Ant definitely wants that fight, whoever it is, whether it's Dan AZEEZ or Joshua BUATSI. And it's a case, for me, it's always, as a trainer, it's always, the longer you leave it, the worse it is for the opponents, because it just gives me more time to continue to work with Anthony and sharpen his skills.
We'll look forward to some news with Anthony Yarde over the coming weeks/months. Tunde, I just want to talk to you about, media, fans. We see it a lot. It's easy now to criticise. People go on X, formerly known as Twitter, Instagram, and like to criticise. You've had it with Anthony Yarde, where people have said he hasn't had the right level of opposition before he went into Kovalev. This kind of Fury Usyk thing. Everyone said that Fury was ducking Usyk. Fury didn't want anything to do with Usyk. Usyk was going to cause Fury all sorts of problems, and Fury doesn't want it. His manager Spencer Brown did an interview with us last night, and he clearly said that this fight was only made because Tyson Fury wanted it.
Well, Tyson, brother, sorry for the bruv abbreviation, but sometimes I forget myself. I forget where I am. Or Spencer's always saying, why are you complaining for saying bruv? And I said, no, it's not about complaining. It's about conducting yourself in certain environments. And, but bruv, anyway. That film Batman? Joe, Batman? The Joker? You know the Joker's always playing games, and he's tricking people. He's a trickster. That's how I look at Tyson Fury. He is the master of mind games. He's the master of social media when it comes to making fights and making the biggest fights. I've always took my hat off to Tyson Fury. I just feel that he's an incredible salesman, businessman, and most of all, he can fight. And he ain't ducking no one. Why would he duck someone? Like the guy went over to Germany, fought Klitschko, beat Klitschko, retired, went through mental health, depression, come back, bust up the baddest man on the planet Earth. And he's riding high, and I feel it's just a case of with Tyson, he's at a stage of his career where financially he has to do what's right for him at the right time. And I think now's the time. I'm probably watching the Daniel Dubois fight. He's probably thinking, well, I don't even care now. Like, I'm ready to do what I knew I could do in the first place. And it's great for boxing. Let's just hope that he comes through the fight next week in Saudi unscathed, because I keep saying, I don't trust this Francis Ngannou business, because anything can happen. It's boxing, and I know we're looking at it like Tyson is the master boxer against someone who's never graced the professional boxing ring. But he's got 2 arms, 2 legs, and he's a fighter. So let's just hope that, for boxing's sake, Tyson Fury wins next week and he sets up the fight what everyone wants to see, which is the undisputed heavyweight championships of the world. I can't wait.
The rumoured date is December 23rd. Spencer Brown, his manager, said that we want it to be December 23rd, as long as there's no issues next week in terms of cuts and stuff like that. Yeah. But is it great to see for us, as boxing fans, as people who love this sport, that we're seeing these huge fights take place, and we want them to continue to take place moving forward as well?
Well, they have to. They have to, because we're seeing the rise of joke boxing. I call it joke boxing. It shouldn't even be called boxing. YouTube fighting. We're seeing the rise of it, and the only reason why there's a rise is the lack of the championship fights, the best fighting the best. The Anthony Yarde's going over to Russia and fighting the #1 light heavyweight at the time. The Anthony Yarde's coming in his hometown fighting a man with a 100% KO record. If Anthony Yarde was a world champion, and he is, and he will be a world champion, he'd be the biggest pay-per-view star in boxing, because he wants to fight. He wants to be the best. So I think that for boxing, it's just incredible, and it's great that these fights are being made. The Tank, Garcia, the Crawford and the Spencers. This is what we need for the sport of boxing, and I feel long may it continue.
What do you make about these news that was circling online that Anthony Joshua is taking 4 days away, sitting in a room in darkness without his phone? You're a spiritual guy. Just reflect on what he's doing.
I keep telling AJ, stop going to all these funny places. Just come Peckham. come down Peckham. Come down Ilford, Box Up Crime. Come see the man them. Like, you don't need to go. And I watched. Someone told me about it. Actually, 505, big plug, big up Shiesty. She's doing her thing in the boxing. She sent me the tweet with AJ, and I don't know how I got onto it today, but I saw him. His friend released footage, but I'm like, they all got phones. They all got phones. Joe, AJ's supposed to be in a retreat, but every man's got phones. Everybody's doing Instagram posts. Like, it's not a retreat. So that's what I'm trying to say. You could have just come Peckham. You just come Peckham or Dulwich or Brixton or Stratford or Hackney. But I've always respected Anthony Joshua for the fact that he's willing to look outside the box. And I've always said it, that nobody has lived in Anthony Joshua's shoes. So whatever he's doing, I'm always in favour of it. Someone wants to, and as you said, I'm very much like that. I want to explore the mind. I want to find out what life is about, why I'm acting a particular way, why I feel a particular way. And I feel that it's great. It's great. It's very inspiring as well. So jokes aside, I think these kind of excursions are something where we can all look at, and even though some of us may criticize, I think that Anthony Joshua knows what's best for him, and I think he's just exploring all possibilities of his life and his mind and where he's at, and hopefully it will surface or channeling into a world champion again.
Baba Tunde, Ajayi, always a pleasure. We look forward to some fight news for Yarde in the coming weeks, and yeah,
Definitely.
we'll catch up with you very soon.
100%. Thank you as always for giving me the interview, brother. I appreciate it. I always, I appreciate your time and thank you very much.
Appreciate you as well. Thank you.